Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. We are going to have another rehouse today, and this is of a spider that I really like this genus of spider, and that is the Flamingochylis. They are a wonderful group of spiders, and today we are going to cover the dyscolus blue, Flamingochylis dyscolus blue, which is often known as the Vietnam blue. Now, these are a very, very fast genus of spider. They really can motor along. They can be very, very quick. They're also very quick to defend themselves. They are not shy at standing their ground. So we have to be super careful. Now, often or not, when we look at things like defensive spiders, we often remark on things like the baboon spiders, because they're very quick to defend themselves as well. You add that into something like the Flamingochylis genus, where they are double the size of most baboons. They are big, long, leggy, powerful spiders. And not to mention that, but I think they move twice as fast as a baboon does. These guys really can motor along. And if you don't move your hands quick enough, you can end up with all sorts of trouble. So what we're going to do, we are going to set this girl up in this 30 by 30 by 30 Komodo. Now these are an ideal size. I love this size for all of my fossorial spiders. They all do really, really well in these. They're also big enough for you to be able to attempt breeding in these enclosures, which means that we can set our females up and they can set up home, their forever home, and then all we have to do is introduce males. And because we can take the top off, when we come to pairing, we leave the top off, and this gives our male chance to be able to run away at the last moment, because many of them can be quite tough on the males. So we need to give them that. But this style enclosure does allow us that that luxury when it comes to breeding. And it's always better if you can breed your female in its present enclosure rather than having to move it out to something else. So we're going to add our soil here. This is cocoa fibre and potting compost. It's camera lady mix, this one, yeah. And it's there's a little bit more potting compost to cocoa fibre. We keep getting asked, you know, what is your exact measurements and all of this? We don't really do it like that. You know, we do it to how we like the look of it. There is no perfect sort of thing. The only thing you do realise is how much you use. We use quite a lot of it. Alright, let's see what we got there. You notice we've got one of our backing boards on this one. So what we're going to do, we're going to pat it down just a little bit. You notice how it soon disappears when you start patting it down. Now we're not patting it down hard, we're literally the smallest amount of pressure there, and what that will do is just condense it, just compacts it that little bit, so that when our spider comes to burrow, it will be a little bit more stable. So we're just filling up the back now, because what we want to do now is we want to literally landscape this. We want it to look really, really cool. Now I've got a multiple of bits and pieces here. We've got some plants, we've got some moss, so we can really, really play around. I don't know what, we can go with a back piece. Do we need a back piece? Now we've got a nice piece here. Look how this one lifts up. We can put that flat on there. You see how it creates like a bit of a tunnel, bit of a cave there. We can make use of that. We can incorporate that. So we can use that here. I don't know if I need that. Yeah, I think actually we'll go without that, because we got the black on the back. So right, what we're going to do, we're going to cover that in there. So we can get that right up against the glass. We can push that in there like so. We can do that. We've got a branch here, we've got a couple of branches here. Now, you're probably thinking, why on earth do we want to use branches in a fossorial setup? Well, what we're going to do, we are going to use these branches to actually create, we need more soil. We're going to use these branches to create another level within our enclosure. This might be one of them ones where we end up taking a bit out. Right, so there we go. So what we want, we really want our spider to move in up on the top here. Up there. We want her to go down in there. That's where we want her to make her home. That would be really cool if she managed to do that. We want to lift this up a little bit. We're getting all really technical now. We're going to put that in there like that. You see how we're sort of building a tiered system now, and she's going to be up on top. Queen of the rock. So, what we've got here, we've got a nice ferny style thing here. Nephrolepis Duffy. Hello, Nephrolepis Duffy. I'll just call it a fern. I'm not very good with these plant names, I've got to say. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're going to take that out of there because we know where we want our plant. We're going to stick our plant in here. We want that up against there. The idea being, hopefully this plant gets itself rooted in, it will help hold all this up together. I'm going to bring that up there like that, so it's nice and high. Get our plant there. We're going to use our stick. You see, it's all coming together now. There we go. Oh, this is starting to take shape. Right. We've got another plant here. What wonderful name has this one got? This is a Monstera mix. Monstera mix. Which I'm not really quite sure what that is.
Holy cheese plant.
A holy cheese plant.
It's got holes in it.
Holy cheese plant, camera lady. Alright. So we're going to put this one in the front here. And this is to give us a little bit of a just to give us some height. That's the idea of that. Get some height. Look at that. Holy cheese plant. You do come out with some stuff, I tell you.
You're giving me the giggles a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Right then, so that is there in there. Look at that. We are looking something special now.
Could you turn it over to the side just so we can get a good look at the tier in there? So turn it. That's it. Yeah, no, it didn't work. Go back.
Oh my God.
Just trying to get the depth of it for them.
Right. I want to add a little bit more soil. What we're going to do, we are going to stick a water bowl. This is a very large water bowl.
It's a big one.
Have we not got a smaller water bowl?
We can get one in a bit, right? We know it's going to go in there.
I'd like it now.
They'd be at the house.
Oh, for God's sake. Right. Okay. So we're going to put a water bowl in this corner. We're going to put a little bit more soil in here because it looks just a little bit too flat. So we're going to just put a little bit more in there. Just fill that up a little bit. That's it. We just want to grade that off a slat. You can see where the old landscaping comes in now, can't you? So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a little bit of moss. We've got some beautiful moss here. And this has been out in the rain. It's just been pouring down with rain. And this is lovely and wet and what have you. So I think what we're going to do, I think what we got. I think what we'll do is we will I'm not sure what we're going to do, to be honest. I'm trying to see how. That's it, David. You see you had it the wrong way round. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put that in there like that. That is going to go there. So now what we got it. So now we can feel the piece of wood behind it, and we can just tear off so we get our shape. That's going to sit in there like so. Exactly where I said I'm going to put a water bowl. So I think what we'll do is we'll put our water bowl up here instead. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to put this little piece of moss here. This will keep some moisture in for this plant as well.
Will she possibly kick some dirt out where you're going to put the water bowl?
She's going to kick dirt out all over here. So what we're going to do, we're going to leave her to do that. And then once she's finished digging, we will then add our water bowl. How's that looking?
Holy plant!
What we'll do now, we are going to add a couple of leaves to make it all a bit woodlandy looking. She might well actually end up using these leaves, as they quite often do, to make their home. Right, what do you think to that? How's that looking?
Beautiful.
Are you pleased with that?
Very.
Right.
Susan's spinning. Susan was spinning.
Right then. So let's get our spider out. I'm going to come back round here again. A bit like that. That looks nice. Right. So here's our spider. So let's come round here and have a look at this. Now, as we said, these guys can be very, very quick. Can be super defensive. So we have to be careful. You see how she's webbed all the top of this box up? So what we're going to do, we're just going to pull this bit of webbing back with our paintbrush so that it don't fall on her. And then we can, give me a moment. You see how it's connected to the floor there. Now, as you can see there, she's quite brown. So I wouldn't mind betting she's getting close to having a molt. And when she molts out, she will still carry some of that brown, but it'll be a little bit darker. And in the front legs, you'll see that blueness that comes through. And when you see it on a nice adult, whereas when she molts next time, she will be up to sort of size. She is of a breeding age now. We could breed her now. So we will wait for her to have a molt. This is always the best thing to do with any spiders that you come new into a collection or whatever. If you're intending on breeding them, get a molt out of them first, and then you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Her back legs aren't as chunky as some of the other fossorials.
No, she's built for speed, this thing. So let's see if we can get her out, and we'll see if we can't get a better look at her when she's on some nice natural background.
Just remember, I haven't got my stall up here, Dave. So you might have to take over.
Right. You can see this, yeah?
Yes.
So what we're going to do, hopefully we're going to catch this blue colouring. So what I'm going to do, you can come in the front, I'm going to come round the side here, and we can see if we can't get her out of this box. Always a little wary when the box is at head height. What we're going to do, we're going to cover her here, and then with our paint, as soon as we touch her, she may well react. Whatever she does, we need to maintain contact. There we go, we've touched her now, so she now knows what we're doing. We're keeping that contact. No aggression yet. This is good. Got to be careful how much we tip this, because the soil, we don't want the soil to tip out onto her. Well, there you go, little little shot of that speed there. So she is now in.
You take it.
So here she is. Now we can really see the blue now in the colouring.
Let me try and get some light.
No, she's perfect. So you can see the blue now. It even covers all the way through the abdomen, all on the back of the carapace. It's everywhere. And these guys just get better and better, and when they're very first molted out, they really are quite exquisite. You can see the light is picking that up now. Look at that. So what we can do now is we can come in and have a nice close look at her. You see the blue now shining through on the legs. There you go. Not often I get to play with a camera.
You're just making sure they know it's you, don't you?
Yeah.
You're such a big head.
Look at that abdomen. Really cool. You can see the colouring's really strong in these legs. So hopefully she will molt out and look absolutely perfect. So we're going to come down now through the glass. You can see how the glass takes away some of that colouring. You see them legs, the colouring there is really nice. Very pretty. So what we will do, we will attempt to get her to move without running, and we will see how well we can manipulate her. So are you good there?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do, bearing in mind that we've built this enclosure up so she could jump out of this enclosure at any time, very easily. So what we want to try and move her over to here. So we're going to come down with our paintbrush very gently. Now we've made contact, we've touched her. She's not doing anything. We don't want her to disappear underneath her piece of log just yet. So you notice now we're directing her now. We're going to move her. We're doing it all in one movement, you see. There we go. There she is. Very pretty. You good with that?
Mm.
There we go. I think you'll agree this is a very nice spider.
I can't get up there. Take control, Dave.
You got it.
Got it.
Oh, that's all right, guys. We're swapping hands.
You can get it without the glass, which stops all that reflecting.
There you go. Now, as you can see, these are quite a stocky spider, but they're also a very leggy spider as well. So they've got long legs, but their actual body is quite heavy. They're ideally built for a fossorial lifestyle, and they're also built for speed. They really can get a real move on when needs be. And I think, look at that, we get that angle there. She is absolutely beautiful. Now, as we said before, these guys are quick to defend themselves, and so we need to give them the utmost respect. They're also very fast when they want to be. They can move at a real rate, and they can be quite shocking in how quick they can cover ground. You don't expect them to move just as fast as they really do. Now, that being said, at this moment in time, as she is in this enclosure, she is just as likely to jump out and go wherever she wants. And this is because she's got no security at the moment. Once she's been in here for 24 hours, she would have made herself a nice little burrow, and she will be secure in that burrow, which means that now from then on, we don't have to worry about her running out and doing anything daft, because all of her security will be in that burrow. And we're hoping that she's going to move into this point up here, right up here, and then she can go down and look at the rest of it. But hopefully she will set up home in that top point, and that will give us a nice viewpoint. It will make it look really smart, so that when she's being fed, she will sit hopefully in the mouth to that burrow, and then we can feed her, either tongue feed her if she'll stay, you know, relaxed enough, and we can get the lid open, because this is where it often changes. Your spider will be sitting out. The minute you try and open the door, it will retreat back down its burrow. So in that case, what we can do is, if we tongue feed them, we can hold a roach on the end of our tweezers, and we can just put it in the entrance to the burrow. She will feel that movement from the roach scratching, and she will come out and hopefully take it out of the tongs. But despite some of their drawbacks, they're very, very simple and very easy to look after. And once they're set up home, you don't have to worry about them coming out and chasing you around the garden. They're not going to do that. They're looking for their security at all times, and the slightest little thing that they see as a threat, they will disappear down that hole, rather than run out towards you to bite your finger. They are all about keeping out of trouble. I think you'll agree that's an absolutely wonderful spider. Very, very lovely spider. Right then, now in terms of heat, we're looking at keeping these within sort of the mid 70s to mid 80s. They're perfectly happy. As a maintenance thing, we can allow this to dry out a little bit, but as it is now, with this sort of moisture content, it's absolutely ideal. When we breed them, we change that a little bit. So we want a little bit of a dry period and a little bit of a wet period, and this is how we can cycle them into breeding and getting them where we want them to be. That's more of a subject for another day, but as they are now in this kind of setup, as a maintenance setup, this is absolutely perfect, and it's a nice pleasing thing to look at, you know. And this is one of the things that I really enjoy about this hobby, is we can make our enclosure something nice to look at. You know, as much as keeping the spider is exciting, the actual enclosure build and everything else is, for me, is what makes it all come together, and it just enhances our spider hobby. And if we can do that like this, what better way can we do it? It's beautiful, absolutely lovely. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that little showcase on our Vietnam blue, and hopefully in the future we'll get a male, and we'll get some nice pairing videos, and hopefully get some nice babies as well. Right then, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you all soon, guys.